we present a method for variable and coordinated holistic co-speech motion generation. Given a speech signal as input, our approach generates variable and coordinated holistic body motions. This is very challenging in practice due to the human motion diversity and the need for coordination among different body parts. Existing works use a deterministic approach to jointly model the holistic body motion, or use a deterministic modeling for facial expressions and probabilistic modeling for hand and body movements. However, these methods often lead to monotonous movements or disjointed coordination among different body parts. We present ProbTalk, a probabilistic framework that jointly models facial expressions, hand gestures, and body poses from speech, ensuring the variable and coordinated holistic co-speech motion. First, we leveraged the recent advances of product quantization variational autoencoder, PQVA, to learn a multi-mode distribution space for holistic body motions. Concretely, we begin by encoding and quantizing the holistic body motion into G-groups of finite codebooks, from which we can sample a wide range of plausible body gestures. Comparing with traditional VQVAE, PQVAE creates an expressive motion representation that allows us to capture the possible variability inherent in the holistic body motion. Observe how PQVAE achieves reconstructions that are more closely aligned with the ground truth. Subsequently, we introduce a novel non-autoregressive model over the learned codebooks, enabling us to predict diverse body motions both efficiently and effectively. Our predictor begins with generating all codes simultaneously and then refines the codes iteratively conditioned on the previous generation. During each iteration, we add a 2D positional encoding to the embeddings of PQ codes to conserve the essential structure information. Then, we obtain the preliminary holistic human motion by decoding codebook indices sampled from the distribution. Lastly, we refine the preliminary motion by a sequence-to-sequence model to capture intricate details, thus enabling a more accurate synchronization with the audio. This approach effectively captures intricate and fast-moving motion details, thereby enhancing the accuracy of the preliminary motion and achieving more precise synchronization with the audio.
And some other clinics enter into a bureaucratic war as a result of these laws. Take this clinic in Alabama. It was shut down after not being able to meet the...
Compared to the state-of-the-art method, ProbTalk generates more realistic results. Observe how ProbTalk generates realistic motions that correspond to the ground truth in terms of the timing, magnitude, and frequency of movements.
Just one example. There are a lot of people who would be harmed by the switch to these flat tax credits, and experts say one thing is pretty clear here.
Additionally, to illustrate the overall movement tendency, we present multiple samples generated by each probabilistic method.
Just one example. There are a lot of people who would be harmed by the switch to these flat tax credits, and experts say one thing is pretty clear here. Just one example. There are a lot of people who would be harmed by the switch to these flat tax credits, and experts say one thing is pretty clear here.
To more comprehensively demonstrate the efficacy of ProbTalk in producing more realistic outcomes, we present a series of comparison videos featuring various speaker styles.
So let's say you live in Woodward County, Oklahoma. You're 60 years old and you earn, say, $50,000 a year. Under Obamacare, you get $13,350.
Currently playing a different sport. I also own a framed Michael Jordan jersey. So to recap, Trump won't give money to... Reaction is small. So to get 10 to the minus 3 here, we have to have much more than 10 to the minus 3 HAC concentration. This reaction...
You gotta work a little politics into this thing. It can't all be a world of make-believe.
Furthermore, the incorporation of motion context enables ProbTalk to facilitate motion completion and editing.
And at that point, we have sentenced a child to motherhood. Now, that specific provider, Whole Woman's Health, is actually at the centre of a Supreme Court case that will be heard next month. God, that is a lot of bad apples, which, by the way, should really be the marketing theme for Red Delicious Apples. Red Delicious Apples. Well, at least we got the red part right. Put his name on a vodka, even though he doesn't drink, whose slogan was Success Distilled, which was discontinued. He put his name on Trump ties, which looked like the answer to... If Pink Floyd had gone to one, they'd have known it's we don't need any education. You undermined your point. Now, it's currently back to school season, and for millions...
We have demonstrated that ProbTalk can be leveraged to generate variable and coordinated holistic body motions from human speech. The code will be available for research purposes.